Life is sweet. Let it sweep you off your feet.
Hi, it's Allie and Find Your Joy and welcome, welcome, welcome. Please do remember to like and subscribe. And today, well, what is today? Today is Christmas Day, and I thought I would pop on here and just have a quick little message, not a very long one today. I wanted to talk a little bit about Christmas and holidays and what that might mean to us. And I'm thinking that, well, first of all, not everybody is going to be celebrating Christmas. So if you're not, if you don't celebrate Christmas, maybe you celebrate Hanukkah, maybe you don't celebrate any specific holiday during this time of the year. Uh, but probably either you have the day off or you are getting paid triple time or something. That's always nice. When I worked in the hospital, I always really appreciated. I actually liked working on Christmas Day. That was a long time ago that I used to work in the hospital. I used to love it. I used to love when I worked in the hospital many years ago, before I went to college or anything. I worked in foods. My mom worked. She was an RN, so she worked in that hospital. My brother, who was younger than me, Donnie, he worked in housekeeping, and I worked in foods. And I used to love going from ward to ward and delivering meals, especially Christmas morning. It's always really super cheerful and even though people were in the hospital and had health issues, there was just still a lovely way. And I don't, there was just a loveliness about Christmas, the message of Christmas, whether you are a believer or follower in Jesus, or whether there's another way that you celebrate things. There's something about Christmas that somehow brings out or has the potential to bring out love and hope and kindness and togetherness and family and giving of gifts. This year we are doing this thing where it's all homemade gifts. So there'll be baking involved and some craft work involved and maybe some writing of poetry and songs and artwork and things like that. I love stuff like that, and that makes me very joyful. I love when we give. For me, the biggest gift anyone can give me is their time. I think I realize that more now. The older I get, the more I realize that time is the most incredible gift anyone can give me. And time is the most difficult thing for us to be able to give to people, um, a lot of the time, just because our time is so filled with other things, whether that's work or family or the busyness of life. So, Christmas Day, are you with friends? Are you with family? Are you working? If you're alone, I did want to say, if you're alone and you don't want to be, let me put it that way. If you're alone and feeling lonely, and of course, you might not be alone and still feeling lonely, I wanted to encourage you to, reach out if you need to. There are places that things are happening publicly on Christmas Day, whether that's a restaurant or, if you need to call and talk to someone, there are places that are available for that. Maybe give someone a call and just say hi. I hope that if you are feeling alone on Christmas, that you'll reach out to someone and let them know how you're feeling, or even just talk to them. Sometimes we can just phone and say, "Hi, I just wanted to say Merry Christmas," and you can make several of those phone calls and connect and start to feel better if you're feeling alone. And I know that that is the way it is for some people. I haven't felt that way too often. I have a large family, and so I haven't felt that way, but I have in my life had a few times where I've spent Christmas alone and didn't tell anyone and felt sad and alone and really depressed about it. Those are those are times that I have had, and I could have changed that up. I know I get it. Not everybody has the ability to do that because maybe there's something going on in the family and there's a division or a wounding or something. But I hope that you will reach out to someone today if you are feeling alone, and I hope that you will do that. Maybe someone will say, "Hey, I didn't even know you were alone. Come on over." Or maybe they'll just chat with you, or who knows what. But I don't think Christmas is necessarily about things and people and gathering. I hope that it's still there's somewhere that it's about love and hope and peace and kindness. Whatever our belief system is, I hope that there's a place that Christmas is about giving and peace and love and connection. Yeah, so that's a lot about what I was thinking about, and I thought I wanted to come on and talk about finding your joy. This season, what have you been doing to find your joy? And I guess, is there something that you found out this season that didn't work for you, and you thought, hey, maybe I'm going to do it a little bit differently next year. Maybe I'm going to do things that that will work. So maybe if right now is not the way you want your Christmas to be, isn't it awesome that we have a whole year to plan our next Christmas? And maybe that's what we'll chat about today. What if Christmas does not look how we want it to look? How do we find our joy? How do we change that so that we're not stuck thinking that this is how it has to be? Like, this is just one day, right? Like, I hope that we can remember that. If this day is going exactly how you want it, yay, I'm happy for you. And you already know what you would like to do to replicate that. If today is not going how you want it to, fresh mercies every day. I get to remember to not over dramatize this in my mind. Like, oh my gosh, this is awful. I'm alone on Christmas, and get stuck in a place. Um, like feelings that hurt and being sad and alone, those are real. I know for me, if I get stuck in that place, if I get to the place where I can't think anything but being stuck in a bit of well, I guess I'll just say a bit of a victim mentality. And that doesn't mean we haven't been victimized. That's not to say that those feelings aren't real and that the experience wasn't real. However, I am the only person who can change my life and the outcome and things. I'm the only one who has any power over that. So here's what I'm going to say. Here's the challenge, brothers and sisters. Here's the challenge. If today is going fabulously, I'm so happy for you. Merry Christmas. Happy. It's also this year, the first day of Hanukkah falls on Christmas Day as well. So whatever it is that you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate any of those things, that's awesome. I'm still going to speak to this. If this day is going exactly how you want it to, yay, that's wonderful. I'm really happy. If it's not, we now have a year to plan. And I think it's really important. I need to remember things like this. Maybe you do too. I need to remember, especially around a day of celebration, it's still just one day. So if Christmas this year sucks, if it's not how you want it, you have a year to make the next one better. If our birthday doesn't go how we want it, if any holiday or just any day doesn't go how we want it to, we have a whole other day coming up right next that we can change it into whatever we want it to be. This is about hope. This is about taking control of our lives. This is about making plans and how am I going to do something different this year so that my next year works better. So what are some of the things that we could do? So, okay, I just said so a lot of times in a sentence. Oh my gosh. Anyways, if this year didn't go well, it's a beautiful time to take a pen and paper out and write down what didn't go well. And I don't mean this to go into a dark, spiraling tunnel. I mean, what didn't work Am I alone and I didn't want to be? Did I spend too much money that I didn't want to spend? Did I eat too much sugar? Did I gain weight? Did I feel disconnected from my friends? Did I feel disconnected from my family? Has there been an interruption or a division or a wounding or a breaking in my relationships? Can I fix them? What might I do to fix them? If I can't fix them, how do I go on knowing that it's going to be that way? I've had some this is our first year without Brother John. So that's going to be hard for lots of us. Um, I know lots of people where every Christmas without their loved one is a reminder that that person is gone. So there's a whole bunch of ways that Christmas, specifically Christmas and over the holidays, can be really challenging. And I think that what I want to say is, how do I change that? How do we change that going forward? What if we made a to-do list? What if we made some kind of a list of what, first of all, envision what we would like realistically for our next Christmas to look like. So if we're alone this Christmas and we don't want to be alone next Christmas, well, if you're listening, you probably have a computer. Start to Google. Start to Google what's going on in my, you can even do it for today. What's going on in my town today? What is happening? There is going to be restaurants, there's going to be churches, there's going to be some nonprofit. There's probably something going on in your town, even a little town that it doesn't have a lot of, when I say a little town, that might be better. I'm not really sure. I live in a smaller town, but not super small. But what I'm thinking about is that the smaller the city, sometimes there's not as many funds available to have publicly funded things going on. There's still very likely somebody's having an open house for people who don't have a place to go, or there might be a dinner happening somewhere. So that's in the short term what you might be able to do. And figuring out, what might I do for next year? What could I do now to plan ahead for next year so it won't be that way? Maybe I can start right away making gifts if I overspent. Maybe I can find a way to make gifts next year. Get ideas for doing that. Maybe we can maybe we can think of something like we draw names so that every person's only buying one gift. Maybe if there was not a lot of people around, I can find a way to go out and meet new people. Maybe I can join a club, or I can start. A lot of times community centers have walking groups. Maybe I can do something like that, or take a course where I might meet some new people. There's a lot of ways to meet new people if that's the issue. I don't know what it might be for you if that's what it is. I'm tossing out ideas because I tend to be I'm an ideas girl. I'm not always a follow through girl so great, but I'm really good at ideas. Um, yeah, if this year isn't going the way you want it to, it's okay. Don't give up hope. Don't ever give up hope. Just change. Change something, some small shift that will make next year a better way for you. Go and find your joy. Make your joy. Hey, I don't know. Maybe maybe there's someone else even today that's alone, and you can call them and you can get together. Maybe it won't be the big grand turkey dinner. Hey, in our family, we don't do we don't do the big turkey dinner all the time. We order pizzas sometimes. We we barbecue hamburgers. We do whatever. We just want to get together, and that's the thing. Maybe you have someone that's in your town right now who's also someone that a friend of yours isn't doing much either. Maybe you can get together and not do much together. Maybe you can have breakfast for dinner. Probably have eggs and bread in your house, and you could just do something like that and play some cards or watch some Christmas movies. I think for me, it's about being together with people that I love. The gift giving is something that I like to do, as long as it's a thoughtful thing. I try not to buy gifts for the sake of buying gifts. I used to do that. I was caught in that consumer trap for some time. Now it's I like experience gifts. Sometimes we can just my son gave me a calendar with like let's do stuff together this year, kind of that was the gift. We didn't follow through super great, but we did, and the thought was there and it was awesome. There's things that we can do sometimes, even if money's an issue, you can make a card and inside it have little coupons like this entitles you to the bearer to one walk, one walk and chat, or maybe to go out for a tea or whatever. And it doesn't have to cost you anything right now. You have time to come up with that. And maybe it doesn't even cost anything in the future. So that's another thing if money or gifts is part of it. There's many, many ways that you can change this day, and you can certainly change what's going to look like going forward. Today, right now, well, today is just before. There is no madness happening right now, because I'm pre-recording this. Uh, Today will be a day spending with our kids and our grandkids, and I just like being with them. I like sharing a meal with them, and everyone's talking, sometimes all at once. And then we play games later, and I really like that, and they really like that. I think they do. Everyone says they do. Those are the kinds of the things that make it really special for us. If you don't have traditions yet, you can make them. If you don't know what you want to do, what you would like your tradition to be, Google them. Google Christmas tradition ideas, and I promise you a lot will show up. Google Christmas tradition ideas that are free, and I promise a whole bunch will show up. Maybe you can just walk around your neighborhood and notice I don't know where you live. Maybe it's easy to go for a drive. Maybe it's easy to go for a walk. If it's not easy to do any of those things, maybe you can watch some Christmas shows or just do something like that. Or if Christmas isn't your thing and you're trying to maybe get away from that because maybe it's overwhelming, especially if you have really no what do I want to say? No sacred day, if that isn't it. Or if you do and they're different than Christmas, I'm guessing this all can be really overwhelming and tiresome. Find other people that are like-minded and do something around that, perhaps. I just think that when we find ways to decide to change whatever's going on for ourselves, that can be the best gift. So maybe your holiday gift to yourself can be taking back your power and taking back control, and making sure that you value yourself above all the busyness and all the craziness, and just finding ways to really love on yourself. Maybe you can give yourself the gift of like a massage or something like that, and it might take you 4 or 5 months to save up for it if finances are an issue. But decide that you're going to gift yourself something really special and follow through. Yeah, I think that's kind of the message this year is uh, for those who Jesus has anything to do with this holiday. Jesus is all about love and giving and forgiving and sharing and community. Oh, community, so much community. So if that's part of this tradition, this holiday season for you, I hope you will remember that. And for those who are celebrating Hanukkah, remembering the miracle of the Hanukkah lights, the candles, the burning for the 8 days. That's a beautiful thing to remember. I think that there's things like, I apologize because I really don't know a lot of the other things like Ramadan, and there's many other things that people celebrate. And for some people, it's living life every day. And this is just another, and maybe this is a great time to celebrate Santa or just getting together. Whatever you do, I hope that you reach out, and if you want to, if your idea of a fabulous day off or Christmas or whatever it is that it is for you, if your idea of it is being alone and quiet, yay, I hope you get that as well. And oh my goodness, if it gets too much for Christmas, the few little helpful hints: drink lots of water, take some nice, big, deep, slow breaths to make sure that you're grounded and feeling calm inside your own body and connected. Maybe avoid a bunch of the sugar consumption that can make us wah. It makes it a little bit more difficult to process anything. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful time today. I hope that you know that you're loved. I hope that you are able to connect with others that mean something to you. And wishing you all the best of the holiday season. Peace and love. And as always, find your joy. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you found a piece of your joy in this episode, I would love to hear about what came up for you so that we can continue to grow the impact of this show. Thanks again. See you soon. And remember, find your joy.